G'day gamers, VaderG here, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a bit of a look at just a very quick overview of these new uniforms. And let's start with the boss, Apocalypse. Apocalypse Messiah Complex version, or skin. And man, he looks incredible, he looks mean. His old uniform was actually pretty cool, when you think about it. That was pretty cool looking uniform, the sort of red and blue, the sort of contrast between the two there. But this new one, I think just because it's just so different, and just because of the coloring, it just makes him look so much different to what he was before. And I can tell you, he plays so much different as well. He plays like a totally new character, which for us guys who have been around for a long time is a big deal. Anyhow, let's have a look here at his skill descriptions, because that's what we're all about. Well, actually, let's just have a look at the uniform effects, uniform list. Let's see what happens here with his uniform effects. Okay, so it starts off at 25%, which is right up there. That's a premium uniform. That's Thanos level effects. And his uniform bonus applies to self 20% of ignore defense, enhances effective skill celestial armor. So I'm wondering what the celestial armor skill is, which we probably should go back and have a bit of a look at. But that 20% ignore defense, you know, everyone goes, oh, if you got good ignore defense from cards. Well, I'm telling you what it's doing. What it's doing is actually allowing you to roll Hawk's Eye as your ISO set. Without worrying about ignore defense at all. Allows you to put, you know, if you have lower ignore defense, allows you to put the stats that you would normally put to ignore defense to crit or to dodge or something like that, or HP if you're, you know, if you're into AT type stuff. It's 20% ignore defense is a fair boost regardless. So I think that's actually a pretty decent uniform bonus. I'm just going to go back and see what the effective skill celestial armor actually is. So let's see what celestial armor skill is. Okay, so that's his passive. So increase to self decreases all damage received by 45%, super armor, and all defenses 5%. So he's always played pretty well with the immune to guard break sort of stuff. Super armor obviously does that. Decrease all damage received by 45% is pretty epic. That's massive. So, and he is definitely a lot more durable in this form than what he was before. Anyhow, let's have a look at his, let's have a quick preview of his skills here and see what they look like. We'll turn the AI on, why not? You might hear a bit of clicking and mouse clicking in the background. That's for the simple fact that I've got some mechanical keyboard, which is not mine. But so you're going to have to put up with that. I apologize, but that's the way it is. I'll try not to use it as much as possible. Okay, so we'll look at his fifth skill. I mean, I've got this, such a great looking skill. So, applies to enemies, decrease all speed by 20%, stun, applies itself invincible for 3 seconds, so further PvP type stats. It does a fair bit of damage as well, and as you can see on screen, it's not a ridiculous amount of hits, but it does pretty good hits. Okay, so his fourth skill, I'm just going to hold it down so we look at the skill description, and wow, what a description. Apocalyptic Fist applies to enemies bleed damage, removes elasticity, which is always good. Mind control, damage received increase by 1%. That's really annoying me actually having that in the background. What I'll do is I'll get out of here and we'll just have a look at his actual skill descriptions. So what are we up to? His fourth skill, Apocalyptic. It's hard to say. 3% decrease of all defenses. Ignores immunity, so that's good against World Boss. Incapacitation, silence. Applies to self 15% recovery of max HP. So once again, PvP oriented. Seems to be a really well balanced character. His third skill, Domination of Destiny. Applies to enemies stun. Applies to self 100% chance for immunity or damage. Wow. Increases all attacks by 30%. All defenses by 30%, and all speeds by 6%, which is huge. These are huge buffs. Seriously, so you want to keep that 3 skill active as much as possible. It lasts for 8 seconds, has a cooldown time of 14 seconds, which at max cooldown is actually 7 seconds. So that's permanent, basically permanent buffs to self. Very, very powerful stuff. His second skill, Summon Illusion with 65% of the summoner's stats. So this is where on his fifth skill, before he used to have the little drones that used to surround him. Now that's put onto the second skill. And Weapon of War, from what I could tell, it kind of looks a little bit the same as what his one skill did before. His tier 3 passive, his tier 2 passive does not change. It ignores target dodge rate, increases skill damage and bonus damage by 30%. His tier 3 skill, it looks pretty standard from a tier 3 skill. Has some some debuffs to enemies there, bit of burn damage as well. 80% chance to penetrate, which is pretty good. Very long invincibility period of 7 seconds. Increases damage by 100% for one attack. I think that would be nice if it was just a little bit higher, but still he's a beast as is. And energy damage, 250% of energy attack. I find that his tier 3 skill is not overwhelmingly powerful. It reminds me a little bit more of Magneto type of tier 3 skill. Not quite as much damage over time, but a little bit like that. Anyway, let's go back into the skills. We'll turn this AI on again. We'll hit them once so that they come and attack us. Then we'll have a look at his fifth skill without the text on the screen. And it's just like a giant version of himself. He summons a giant version of himself. He goes massive and just does a hammer fist down on all his enemies. His fourth skill, yeah, so that's changed a lot. Well, I should say changed a lot. It looks like it's changed a lot. It's doing quite a few hits. There was always a big damage bringer. His third skill, okay, that's way different than what it was before. Second skill, that's his old fifth skill. So they moved his fifth skill to his second skill. It looks basically exactly the same as what it did. Some subtle changes to the actual graphics and the type of lasers being fired out. And his one skill there looks very similar to what it was before, and that's quite a powerful skill as well. Have a quick look at his tier 3 animation. He's summoning all his stuff together. He's forming some sort of asteroid, meteor, fireball thing, and just basically demolishes everyone on screen. Does around about 500 hits. It's let's build it up again quickly. It's very flashy looking. So it's doing a lot of hits early, then has a little bit of a pause, and then a lot of hits here towards the end. It does have a lot of DOT towards the end there, so it has that residual effect. So it's kind of like Magneto, not Magneto obviously, but a little bit like Magneto in regards to the distribution of the damage. So guys, that's the Apocalypse. What's my verdict? You got to buy it. It turns him into a totally different character to play. That's why. It's a character that we've had for years, that we've all probably kind of grown a little bit bored of over the last period of time. He's a beast anyway. He's a native tier 2. It only takes feathers really to rank him up. I know he's going to be expensive, but it's only feathers. Who cares? So I would say 100% get this uniform. It's a good one. I know it's probably going to be a bit expensive. Black Friday's coming up. Maybe wait till then, because hopefully they'll be on special. But that's all for the Apocalypse uniform review. I did an ABX vid with it yesterday or last night. Check that out. Alright guys, bye.